What's going on YouTube? My name is Zach with Android Digest, and this is an updated review for the Lenovo Chromebook Duet 3. I want to let you know how this device has held up over time, what I think about it, if anything has been better or worse over time, and I really want to just show it off because this is a terrific tablet that has a lot going for it, and you might wonder, is this device still worth buying? Well, I'm going to let you know in this video. So with all that being said, let's get right into it. So the Lenovo Chromebook Duet, this is the 11-inch model that I'm talking about here, and I've got to say I've been very impressed with this tablet over the last few months. It's been a device that has been very reliable and good for me, but there still are some things that I've noticed over time that have really bothered me with this tablet, but there's also a lot that I absolutely love about it and a lot that really makes this device worth buying. So first off, let's talk about the design and how this design has held up. So you can see here that we have the tablet itself, and it looks really nice, but you have this kickstand cover on the back. That's because this is a detachable tablet, of course. So you have this part right here, which is the keyboard, and it can attach right to the bottom of the tablet. And then we have this fabric part that actually attaches to the back of the tablet. It actually magnetizes there, and it actually has a kickstand on it, which is really, really nice. Now, one thing I want to mention, I have noticed that the strength of this kickstand, well, the kickstand will hold it up very nice. It will hold up your tablet, no problem. However, if you do try to adjust it with one hand, it could very easily make this case come off. So you want to make sure when you're using this tablet to actually put some pressure at the top of it whenever you are adjusting the kickstand. That's just one minor thing that I have noticed. Now you might notice this part on the back of the tablet here, this little spot here, you might wonder what it's for. It actually is meant to hold this little stylus holder here, and it actually pops right into the back of the tablet. And when you pop that in, you'll notice that, well, I actually have a stylus in mine right now. You might wonder what that's about. Well, the stylus does not come with the tablet. If you do want the tablet itself to have a stylus, you are going to have to buy that separately. But it does come with the stylus holder, so it does come with that whenever you buy the tablet. At least it did for me when I bought it from Best Buy. Now, when you're looking at the stylus itself, I want to mention this tablet does not work with every stylus out there. That's not something I knew when I initially reviewed this tablet, but apparently this is a tablet that supports USI 2.0. Basically, it's a new standard for Chromebooks for better USI input. And that's great and that's terrific. However, from everything I've been reading, this device will not support older USI pins. So if you have a USI 1 pin, it's not going to work on this tablet. Now that may change over time. Maybe they have a super cool software trick they could get to make it work. Maybe that's already happened and I just didn't realize it. I don't believe it has though. I've done my research on this, and USI 2, from what I'm understanding, it is not backwards compatible. So a USI 2.0 pin, it will work on a USI 1.0 tablet. However, a USI 2 tablet will not work with a USI 1.0 pin. So it's a little bit confusing in that way. So there's only one stylus that I know of, at least as of today, that will work with this tablet. And maybe more USI 2 pins will come out, but Lenovo does have this right here. I did actually buy it from Amazon. I will have a link in the description. It's a little bit expensive. I paid around $45 for it, but this stylus does actually work very well overall. It feels nice. It feels nice like a normal pin, of course, and I really did enjoy the input on the screen. I'm not a great artist. However, I did have a very good experience with drawing on this pen, and I would recommend it. I think it'll be great for note-taking and a lot of stuff that you're going to do on your tablet. Of course, it won't be quite as good as using a Samsung Galaxy Tab like a Tab S8. That does have a 120 Hz screen, so that screen refreshing a little faster, sure, that may make the stylus input a little bit better, but it won't be a really big deal, especially if you're getting this tablet for a good price. And I have to mention, prices. Prices have gone down on this tablet, especially around the holiday season. I've seen this tablet on sale for like around $250, and that's before any educational discounts or any military discounts. So those are things that you could stack on top of that. So I'm very impressed with what you could find this tablet for. Again, you could find it for a lot of great prices. Now, one thing I did notice with this tablet over time, if you look at the bottom of this keyboard cover, you will notice this is made of fabric, and so is the other side, of course, of the case. case. So if you try to put this down on a table, if you've got a little bit of coffee left over from the morning and it's on the table, you are going to end up staining this, I'm sure. This is going to soak up any liquids, and that may be a problem for you because this isn't quite as easy to clean as just having a nice aluminum tablet, right? However, you have to remember this is a case for this that it does come with for free. A lot of other tablets don't come with a keyboard. They don't come with a kickstand like this does. However, it's a little bit harder to clean than some other cases out there because you can't just wipe it off. Now, granted, some things you can wipe off. This is actually very resistant to a lot of things like crumbs. If you had some crumbs from some chips or something, you could wipe it off and I'm sure it will be just fine. However, you might make some minor marks on the back of this case if you're not careful, if you have greasy fingers from eating something. That's something that we do every day, and sometimes we accidentally touch our devices whenever we have that, right? Well, that is something that you need to keep in mind. This device might be a little bit harder to clean than some other devices out there. Now, the keyboard. The keyboard is held up really well. I do enjoy the keyboard experience. I will say that this is the second device that I bought. So I did buy two different Lenovo Chromebook Duets in different colors. And I will say that the keyboard on this and on the previous model, both of them had a little bit of a loose touchpad. I'm not sure why the touchpad was a little bit loose. And to fix that on both models, I applied a little bit of pressure from behind the tablet in the middle right here. And I pushed right where the touchpad is and pushed forward. And whenever I did that, it actually fixed the issue. Now, I heard a little bit of weird cracking noises when I did that, so I don't think I would recommend you do that, especially because you'll blame me if your keyboard breaks. But it did fix my issue. The touchpad just felt a little bit loose. I don't think most people would notice because I'm a crazy tech nerd who notices those things. But outside of that, I've had a really good experience. I think the touchpad is actually really, really good. And the keyboard, I love the keyboard on this device. Like, I think the keyboard is way better on this device than on the Tab S8 or the Tab S7. I love the keyboard on this Lenovo Chromebook Duet. It is really held up. The travel is really, really nice. It's one of the best keyboard companions, I would say, to a device that I've owned, like a tablet. And I just have to say, tablet keyboard covers, they normally are really awful. They're normally really bad with the travel on the keys, but the key travel on this is so nice. I love that I have a kickstand, that I could use this as a tablet. I could watch videos and movies whenever I want, but I could attach this device and actually use it whenever I need to get some extra work done. And that's what really makes this device so powerful and so unique, because you could find this device for a crazy low price, like 200 or 250 bucks. You could get a ton of entertainment done on it, and it's plenty fast enough to browse around the web or go to Netflix or things like that. But whenever you want to get some good work done and some good productivity, you also have a nice keyboard, which is really, really awesome. And you could even buy a stylus and use a stylus on it. Again, you can't do that on a lot of lower end tablets. And when you look at the display, a lot of tablets around $200 or less or $300 or less, they're not going to come with a keyboard. They won't come with a kickstand, and they normally won't have a really good screen. But this has a 2000 by 1200 resolution. It's an 11-inch screen, and I love the screen on this Chromebook. In fact, I would argue the screen is better on this than the 13-inch OLED Lenovo Chromebook Duet. Now, I know it's OLED, but sometimes things look a little bit pixelated on that screen, and I just think the bigger screen size, the lower resolution, that makes things a little bit more pixelated. And I think even though this isn't an OLED screen, I wish it was, but it's not. Even though it's not OLED, I still think the higher resolution, it does make up for that, and it's really bright overall. It's like 400 nits of brightness. So I really love the screen, I love the screen quality, and I love how good this device is for entertainment. That's why you buy a tablet over a laptop, right? It's because you do like to occasionally watch videos or movies and prop up your tablet, or you like to play some games on your tablet. This can also do some light gaming, of course. It won't be the best gaming device in the world. And performance, if you're looking at performance, of course, this does have a Snapdragon 7C Gen 2 processor. And if you look at that, I know it's not the fastest processor in the world, but it's a whole lot better than the processor that came in the original Lenovo Chromebook Duet. And it is fast enough for web browsing. When I am actually navigating around in the navigation gestures, I wasn't really finding it was slowing down much. It did actually do fairly well. Now, if you do load this up, remember this does have 4 gigs of RAM in my model. Maybe one day they'll release a model with 8 gigs, but I have a model with 4 gigs of RAM. It can get a little bogged down when you are actually using it in tablet mode. It can get bogged down with like 4 or 5 or 6 apps whenever you are navigating between them, but it's still fine. It still actually works fairly smoothly, and I was able to open plenty of Chrome tabs whenever I was using it with the keyboard, and I wasn't experiencing much slowdown. So maybe, just maybe, you'll have to reload one web page off and on. That is something that happens with less RAM, but you're not using this RAM or this device to video edit, right? You're not using this device to do crazy intensive stuff. So having a little bit of less RAM on this device, I don't think it's a big deal for your average person. Now, if you want more RAM, hey, the 13-inch Lenovo Chromebook Duet does have 8 gigs of RAM and the same processor and an OLED screen, and that device has been going on sale a lot as well. But this device is a little more portable, right? So I don't like how this has bezels. This has pretty big bezels all around. That is a little bit of a bummer if you take a look at it. I wish the bezels were a little bit smaller, but having those bezels does allow you to have a little bit of a larger keyboard, which again, I love the keyboard, and for once, there's an 11-inch tablet with a nice keyboard. So I don't mind the bezels for that reason. Of course, the webcam's not going to be that great. The speakers aren't that great at all. They're not super loud on this tablet. So there are some minor gripes with this tablet. Of course, it's not going to charge super fast or anything like that. But when I look at the battery life is terrific on this device. You're going to get plenty of battery life, like 8, 9, or 10 hours, maybe even more depending on what you're doing. So this device has great battery life. Now granted, again, if you're a gamer, if you're doing some very intense stuff, you might not get great battery life, but I did. I got great battery life on this device. So overall, when I look at this device, it's terrific. Now there are still some minor flaws. The software, for example, when I do actually go to Twitter's website, it's Twitter, sometimes it's Reddit, there are a few websites that when you go to those websites and you type out a comment, there is still an issue where the keyboard, whenever you have the touchscreen keyboard up and you press the space bar, the whole keyboard will like blink for a second. And that's a weird software bug that's been happening with all Chrome OS tablets for years, and they still haven't fixed it. So they still have some weird wonky bugs like that. It's not very many. So that's one issue that I have with this device. I will say that if you are using an Android tablet, some things are going to be a little bit simpler on it. But overall, when I look at this device, it's a lot more versatile than you're going to find other devices in this price range, right? You're not going to find a tablet that comes with a keyboard, that comes with a kickstand. If you look at the new iPad, for example, good luck, you're going to have to pay like over $400 and then pay an extra $200 for the keyboard. You're going to pay $600 and you're not even going to get a desktop-like environment like Chrome OS offers. You could still run Android apps, of course, on this tablet. It does very well with those. Now this, at least as of today, I remember a video editor, LumaFusion, did recently release on Chrome OS. This actually cannot download LumaFusion right now. I don't know if that's going to come out later or not. So yeah, you might not be able to download every single Android app in the world, but most Android apps will work on this tablet. They will work very well because this is an ARM tablet. This device is going to get plenty of software updates, so it's going to last for a long time. The battery life is very good, and this tablet is so good at doing the basics. If you want a device for web surfing, if you want to scroll around the news, it's going to be plenty fast enough for that. If you want to watch videos, the screen is going to be very bright and it's going to look good. And you might want to occasionally do some productivity work, and you could attach that keyboard and get some good work done. It does work okay on my lap. It's a little bit better, at least on my lap, than some other keyboards that I've tried. It is a very, very good device. I would highly recommend it, especially around Black Friday and the holidays, especially around Christmas season. This device is terrific for media. It's terrific for entertainment. It's great to do some occasional productivity, and I would highly recommend buying it, especially with all these crazy sales going on. So thank you so much for watching this video. Please give this video a like and give me a sub. That would be great. Again, check the links in the description. You could probably find this tablet under $300. I know it's been on sale for like $250, $260. All of those are great deals, so I would snatch this tablet up in a heartbeat if you see it on sale. And by the way, if you get a little extra time, check out some other videos as well. That's another great way to support my channel. And leave a comment if you have any questions. I'm happy to help. I hope you have a terrific day, and I hope you enjoy your week and all these crazy, crazy times.